Hey guys! Today, we're back with the juiciest Am I the A-hole stories on Reddit. This first story, OP's dad is dating someone that's her age, so she teaches him just how creepy that is. Am I the a-hole for bringing a much older guy to Easter dinner after my dad left my mum for someone close to my age? Posted by Adorable Cost 806. I'm an 18-year-old female, and when I was 15, I got into a boarding school abroad and moved out. When I was 12, my dad, 45 male, cheated on my mum, 43 female, with a woman who was 20 at the time. They ended up divorcing, and he's been with her ever since. She's only a few years older than me, and for the past few years, she's been at every family holiday. She's clearly only after his money, but he's too stupid and stubborn to understand. Nah, he gets it, he just doesn't care. Well, this Easter, I flew back home and asked a friend of mine, 38 male, to come with me and pretend to be my boyfriend just for a few days. After dinner, my dad pulled me aside and told me that he felt uncomfortable with the situation. I told him that I didn't do anything wrong and that after him, love has no age. Yeah, he taught you this. He told me that I ruined everyone's Easter by being so selfish and bringing someone his age to dinner. Oh please, he's brought someone her age to every holiday. Now I'm getting messages from a few relatives saying that I should apologize to my dad and break up with my boyfriend. Why? Is there something wrong with age gaps? I haven't responded. I don't think I'm in the wrong because he's made my life uncomfortable since the moment he cheated on my mum. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, no sh**. He's just a massive hypocrite. Edit. I met my friend in a book club when I moved to the US. I'm from Europe, and he's been a great father figure to me, to be honest. Are you sure he feels that way about you? When I had no friends there, he would buy me dinner and actually spend time with me. And he's recently divorced from his high school sweetheart, so he would have spent Easter alone anyway. Therefore, I decided to take him with me and show him around. I wonder if he's gonna start suggesting they, make out just for the act. For reference, I didn't say half the bad things my dad did, or the whole story. It would have taken way too long. But trust me, cheating isn't the only thing he did. I know this is immature, people. I know it's extremely immature of me. But I wanted to show him how it feels. I plan to invite him to Christmas too. Oh, I'm on board with these petty games. Maybe even start calling your dad Daddy and act all oblivious to him being uncomfortable. Look forward to the Christmas update. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share my bonus with my fiance's family? Posted by BC420. I work in tech and had a fantastic year at my job. I recently received a significant end-of-year bonus, $50,000, and I was thrilled. I've been saving for years to buy a house, and this bonus is going directly into my house fund. My fiancé knows this and was initially very supportive. But then she dropped this bomb on me. She asked if I could spare $25,000 of my bonus, so half, to help her parents pay off their mortgage. What? That is nuts! You'll need that money for the down payment for the house. And even if you did have an extra $25K, it could go towards the debt, or like an emergency fund in case you lose your job and can't make mortgage repayments. If they only have $25,000 of their mortgage, they're in a way better financial position than you are. Hey, maybe they should pull some of that equity from their home to help their daughter fund her half of the down payment, since family helps family. Apparently, her parents have been struggling financially, and she feels it's only fair, since we're gonna be married, and they're gonna be my family too. How the hell is that fair? They didn't raise you, why isn't she helping them? I said no. I've worked extremely hard for this money, and while I feel for her parents, I don't think it's my responsibility to bail them out, especially when I've never been directly asked by them. Her response? She called me selfish and accused me of not caring about her family. She then brought up how her parents have sacrificed so much for her, and it's the least I could do. No, it's the least she could do. They didn't sacrifice for him. She's been cold to me ever since. She's also told her parents about my bonus, without my permission. And now I'm getting guilt tripped by them too. They haven't outright asked for the money, but they've made several comments about how lucky I am to have the extra cash and how some people just don't get that kind of opportunity. What extra cash? You're facing a massive debt. They already have their home. When I mentioned that I plan to use the money to help secure our future with a house, my fiancé said, "What future? You're already showing that you don't care about the people that matter to me." Cool, take that and run with it. I don't think I should have to justify how I use my bonus. But now, even my own friends are split on whether I'm being reasonable or stingy. Am I the a-hole? The first comment down here just says, run. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my dad my inheritance, even though he says he needs it more? Posted by Active Bad Girl. Okay, so I, 28 female, need to know if I'm out of line here, because my family's making me feel like I'm the worst person alive right now. So, for context, my mum passed away when I was 18. She was the best, like the only person who really cared about me. My dad, 55 male, was around, but honestly, he wasn't great. He cheated on my mum when I was 13, and while she stayed for my sake, I never forgave him. He moved in with his affair partner like a month after the divorce, and she's been his main focus ever since. Anyway, my mum didn't have much, but she left me a small inheritance. Nothing huge, like around $50,000, but it was everything she had. Her will was super clear. It was for me to build my future. She knew how much I wanted to go to art school, but couldn't afford it back then. I ended up working my way through school, so kept the money in savings, planning to use it for a house or a small business someday. Fast forward to now, I'm finally in a stable place, about to start looking at houses with my partner, 29 male, and suddenly my dad pops up out of nowhere. He's never really asked me for anything before, or been around, but now he's saying he needs help. Apparently his wife got into debt from gambling, and now they're at risk of losing their house. He says it's temporary, and that he'll pay me back, but I know that is BS. He's never been good with money, and his wife, let's just say that she doesn't exactly scream responsibility. I told him no, that this money is from my mum and she wanted it for me. He got all defensive, saying she'd want me to help the family and that I'm being selfish for hoarding money that I don't even need right now. Like, are you kidding me? Now my dad's side of the family is all up in my business, saying I should be the bigger person and help him out in his time of need. My aunt even called to say that I'm disrespecting his role as my father. What role? The man barely raised me. Like, I do feel bad because, yeah, it's a lot of money, and I guess they could lose their house. But at the same time, why is it my responsibility to bail them out when they've done absolutely nothing for me? My mum trusted me with this money, and I feel like giving it to him would just be spitting on her memory. Am I the a-hole for saying no? No, but you would be if you caved. You're right, giving that money to your mum's cheating ex to spend on his affair partner would basically be like spitting on her grave. Honour your mum by using that money to live your best life. I'm sure she'd be proud of you for getting yourself through school, and for saving that money to build a good life for yourself. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my wife and calling her crazy because she wants to take a paternity test for my nephew? Posted by Throwaway. My wife and I have been married for 10 years and together for 14. We're child-free. I also have a nephew who's currently 13, and I'm not gonna lie, he looks a lot like me and has a lot of the same facial features as me. I'm really proud of him, and we have a close bond. I've played a father-like role in his life since he was a kid. He has a deadbeat father, and my sister divorced him a long time ago. A few of my family members have made comments about how much my nephew looks like me, and while I initially thought it was wholesome, my wife for some reason has become very insecure and started getting doubts. She started questioning why I need to play such a prominent role in my nephew's life, why my nephew has autism, etc. The insinuations just became weird, and it made me uncomfortable. I do agree that my sister's dry humour has played some part in my wife's insecurities. During family gatherings, my sister jokes a lot about how wholesome it is that her son looks just like me, and that she couldn't be happier. It's obviously a joke, but I spoke to my sister and asked if she could tone it down a bit because it was making my wife a bit crazy. Yeah, he has your genes because you're related, not because you effed your sister. What? If those comments about how you look similar are the only reason she's suspicious, then that's actually crazy. However, last night, my wife asked if I could take a paternity test just for a peace of mind. That's when I finally snapped and called her crazy and that marrying her was the biggest mistake of my life. Whoa. I did immediately regret saying that because I meant none of it. My wife is the love of my life. But my wife got quiet and started crying shortly after, and I had to console her. Was I the a-hole? Yeah, you absolutely were. I was on your side with the whole accusing you of sleeping with your sister stuff, right up until you said that marrying her was the biggest mistake of your life. Yikes! You can't just take words like that back. It's like dropping the D word. Update. I've agreed to take the test, but only under certain conditions. I understand that my wife is being paranoid and delusional, but I want to take the test just to ease whatever irrational fears she has. Sometimes these fears have no logic, and I too have had irrational fears before. I spoke to my sister about it today, and she was obviously pretty angry with my wife. However, my sister and I discussed it at length, and she agreed to take the test, under certain conditions. I spoke to my wife after and told her that I would take the test, which my wife was very happy about, and then I told her the conditions. The first condition being that she had to stop these insinuations immediately. My wife immediately agreed to it. The second condition being that there was never going to be any more arguments on me spending time with my sister and nephew. My wife and I have had some arguments over the years where she asked why I spend so much time at their house. My wife agreed to the condition, although she took some time to think about it. I'm curious how much time we're talking about and if he spends the night, cause if it's like a weekly thing and he does spend the night, then maybe her fears weren't so irrational after all. Or maybe I've just spent way too much time on Reddit. The third and final condition was that I had the liberty to go on vacations with my sister and my nephew without my wife being there. I told my wife up front that my sister doesn't want her to come on these vacations anymore. My wife was a bit more hesitant on this, but she ultimately agreed to it. Update 2. My wife caught me in bed with my sister. Just kidding, but I totally had you going there for a second, didn't I? Knowing Reddit, I actually wouldn't even be that surprised. Alright, well, I'm gonna go outside now and touch some grass. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.